everyone! Well, we're here, we're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and for this video we will be talking about Scentsy. This will be a team call video with a theme all about follow-ups, so we love a theme. I feel like I say that and then I realize that I think all team calls have a theme to them, like they must have some sort of reason and topic to want to do a team call. But sometimes I will watch team call videos and I'll be like, what was the point of this? Why even do this if you don't have a topic? But also, they all just overlap with each other. Once you've seen one team call, you have essentially seen them all. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really like it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description below for all my fun links. And with all of that said, let's get started.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, to talk all about my favorite thing ever, favorite topic, which is follow-up. First, I'm going to introduce myself in case you don't know me. I am Superstar Director for Team Been with Scentsy for just over 11 years now. And this topic that we are going to talk about tonight is my absolute favorite one to train on for a few reasons. One, it was the first topic that I ever got invited by Scentsy Home Office to train on. And because I had to teach on it, I decided I better try doing it. And when I started doing
So she got asked to train about a specific thing in her MLM that she didn't do. They didn't ask her like, hey, maybe they did ask her, do you regularly do this? And she wanted to speak about it. So she's like, yeah. Or they just said like, hey, we want you to come speak on this topic. Whether she is knowledgeable about it or not, does it really matter? No, she's, top of Scentsy. That's all they see. They're like, you can talk on this topic. Whether you've done it or not, it's how you've gotten to where you are now. Doesn't matter.
I saw incredible results and I still do. And I definitely credit my sales, growth of my business over the last 5, 6, 7 years now to doing this thing consistently. It is not flashy. I do not have, like I've said before, I don't have cute binders and charts and things like that. I have really boring consistency of doing the same thing over and over, day by day, week by week, year by year. Like I've mentioned before, you guys can punch me if you're sick of hearing this, but I really, really do value your time. I know that it is your only non-renewable resource. You can only spend it once. So thank you for spending it here. Whether you're with me live on Tuesday night, or whether you're watching the replay on YouTube, whatever the case may be, I appreciate you spending a few minutes of your time here. And I hope that I will make it worth your while. So the objective, that's a big word, today is to help you to implement a simple system for consistent follow-up. Notice that I chose that word carefully, implement. Okay, we are not researching all the systems out there, but really our focus is going to be implementation. That means doing it.
Right, and I do agree that when it comes to certain aspects of business, the only way you can really learn to do things is by actively doing it. But telling someone to not look up a follow-up system that they like, it's like, just do it. Just do the follow-up system. And it's like, maybe they want to look more into it. Maybe they want to, find something that is authentic to them. They have such an issue in MLMs of people wanting to learn more about the business that is supposedly theirs. There is nothing wrong with wanting to have knowledge about the thing you are doing. If they truly believe it's their own business, they can take as long as they want to feel comfortable until they're ready to reach out to people, until they're ready to talk to people, until they're ready to go live. Maybe they have no idea how to go live and people are just saying, go live, go live, go live. And they're just sitting there and they're like, okay, I'll go live and I'll just regurgitate everything that anybody's told me. And then it becomes unauthentic. But to be fair, the way that I see it is anyone in MLMs are all just carbon copy robots and just regurgitates the same thing that the person next to them has told them. So you can only be so authentic in your MLM.
And we're going to dig into some key areas. Okay, we're going to talk about why we want to follow up, why a system. We're going to talk about how, and we're also going to overcome some objections. And the objections are from you, the consultant or the business owner, not from your customers.
Of course, blaming the downline, blaming the consultant. It's always your fault. You're the one with the objections. You're the one who is only holding yourself back. You're thinking about all the things that could go wrong. Well, think about the things that could go right. But how often do things seriously go right in MLMs? You can only think positively for so long until you have no money left.
So let's get right into it. First, we want to talk about why. You have probably heard this analogy before, and it still stands. Although we haven't really been to restaurants in a while, we probably remember having been to a restaurant at some point, right? Not like a fast food place, but a restaurant where you go in and you wait at the hostess podium, you get seated, and then your server will come around and introduce themselves. They'll smile at you. They'll try to establish a little bit of rapport. They'll give you your menus. Maybe they'll tell you about some specials. And then can you imagine if they said, okay, I'm going to be in the other room. Just come get me.
No, I see where she's going with this. She is trying to compare servers at a restaurant to the same thing that MLM reps do when they need to follow up with somebody. Those are two totally different things. Somebody who is a server, we are aware that it is their job to check up on us. We expect them to do that because it is part of their job as they are being paid to do. We expect them to come by, see if we're okay, see if we need anything, take our order, take our drinks, bring us food. All of that, we're aware. When it comes to MLMs, we don't expect people to be bothering us day in and day out in our DMs. Those are two totally different things. When you go to a restaurant, you expect people to serve you. When you either buy an MLM product or you just happen to be an individual on social media, you do not expect people to bother you on their day in and day out, telling you about the products, asking you if you want to join the opportunity. Those are two different things. Your DMs are not open invitation to check up on you all the time. I mean, I guess if you want people to do that, that's totally okay. But a lot of people don't. I'm somebody, I wouldn't want that. I don't need you to be checking up on me all the time. I don't expect that on social media. Obviously, at a restaurant, you would expect a server to check up on you. That is obvious. That's just a part of the job description. When it comes to an MLM, you just see this stranger reaching out to you about an opportunity, and you're like, what the heck is this? What are you doing?
You're ready to order. You wouldn't do that. You'd leave. You'd go to another restaurant where the server serves you. And at the same time, if they come back to see if you want more water because your glass is half empty now, you're not going to yell at them for offering you a refill. You're not going to get mad and flip the table when they offer you a dessert.
Right, but a difference is that when you tell them no, I'm good, they walk away. They're usually like, okay, all right, just thought I would check up on you. There we go, and they walk away. But with an MLM, they don't take no for an answer. They'll keep coming back.
They're just doing their job. And so as Scentsy business owners, it is our job to introduce ourselves, to establish rapport, to share specials, to offer, give the menu, and then not to bail on them. Okay, it's our job to come back and check in again, offer refills, offer more value, and be okay with it when they say, no, thanks. No, we've all turned down dessert, right? No, I'm full. No, I'm on a diet. No, the budget doesn't allow today. So just the same as it's that server's job to serve us, it is our job to serve our customers.
No, it's not the same situation. Like, it just isn't. I understand her analogy. I get where she's going with, but the way, instead of saying that, like, you are like a server and you want to get, you're just saying customer service. That's all this is that's all this could have just been, is that, like, we are in a customer service business. We want to make sure that our customers know what's going on and that we are attentive to their needs. Like, that's just customer service.
And that's why we follow up. The more consistently we follow up, the more consistent our sales will be, right? We talk sometimes, I hear all the time, it's a slow month. It's such a slow month. This month is so slow. I'm not getting any sales. And when I ask, well, what have you been doing? Well, I've tried everything. I've posted, well, what's your follow-up system? I don't have one. So if you want consistent results.
Well, a lot of times, don't we hear in opportunity calls that all you do is post about the product you love and make money? So weird how when you try to implement that and you post about the products that you're selling in your business and you don't get anything and you're upset because you're not making money, it's like, well, you're not doing this. There's always something else that in upline is like, well, you have to also be doing this. It's like, well, in your opportunity call, when I joined this, you didn't say that. You just said, post about the product you love and you'll make money. But we all know that that's not true. That's because if it was, a lot more of them would be making money. It is not as easy as just posting on social media and making money. There is so much more to it. It is so much more exhausting. You're on social media 24/7 posting, following up, talking to people, finding people, following up with other people. You have your notebook of names or whatever. Like, it's exhausting. So there's always something else. They just always have a rebuttal to why the downline is not making sales. It's always their fault.
If you want consistent sales, if you want consistent paycheck, you have to be consistent in your efforts. So having a system keeps that simple, makes it easier to keep doing over and over. And it gives you then more time to do things like run parties, like meet new people and grow your network, to grow and train your team. And obviously for your real life, because you don't want to be working 20 hours a day on your Scentsy business. Maybe you do, but I don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. You've been in the business for 11 years. I guarantee she probably does a couple Zoom meetings a week. And, that's could be about it. She says she does this stuff. I don't know her. She could be doing this stuff. She could be doing this follow-up stuff. But she is very high up in Scentsy. She probably does not need to be doing this, but she wants to tell her downline to do it so they can get more people underneath them. So therefore the money keeps going up and she makes even more money.
So system, we kind of touched on this. Systems take the guesswork out of what to do and when to do it and the order that you do it in, right? The simplest system I can think of is when we do every day or almost every day, lather, rinse, and repeat, right? Lather, rinse, repeat. In that order, you will get clean hair 100% of the time. So if you had a system of simple steps that you could follow over and over and over again and be guaranteed, or almost guaranteed.
I don't know if you saw my face. I was like, I don't think you should use the word guarantee. You got to be a little cautious when you use words like guarantee and then, income statements and stuff like that. But yeah, I do appreciate her for being like, or maybe not guarantee, but, it works.
Consistent sales and results. You'd want to do it, right? Since 2015, the first time that I trained on this topic and started making myself be consistent with follow-up, my sales have increased, I would say 100%, but it's like several 100%. I just went back and looked actually before we started here. January 2016, I had about 800 PRV. As of today, we still have about a week left. I have 2,800 PRV. And my personal average is between 2,500 and 4,000 a month, some even higher. in the fall months. But most of that, in my personal business anyway, is due to follow-up, really consistent follow-up and consistently growing my customer base, which I can do because I have a simple follow-up system. And I should say, see income disclosure, results not typical, you get what you put in. And
I just love when they talk about the income disclosure statement, like, oh yeah, you gotta see this and blah, blah, blah. Like, they just say it so, like, nonchalantly, like, annoyed that they even have to mention that majority of people in the business that they are in don't make money. And they are aware that, they don't put a lot of effort towards that because they don't want to scare people away, because it's a scary thing when you look at it. It's like, oh, people don't really make money. They don't want people to be looking at the income disclosure statement because that's reality. They want them to listen to their nice, pretty words that they are saying, because that sounds a lot better than showing them the reality of the MLM.
All that good stuff. But if you know that you get what you put in, you're going to want to be consistent with your follow-up.
You don't get what you put in. You get with however many people are below you and what they are doing. If half her team left tomorrow, that's not her losing that income because she no longer put in that effort. That's her losing that income because she's dependent on her downline and the group sales to make the money that she gets every month. So it has nothing to do with how consistent you are with follow-ups. It has to do with how many people stay in your downline.
So let's talk. I think hopefully I've convinced you why you want to follow up and why you want a system to do it with. So let's talk about how. The first thing that I want to address is how frequently you follow up. I asked you guys just before we started, what's your biggest hurdle or obstacle when it comes to follow up? And one teammate said, well, I feel like I'm harassing them all the time. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you are following up too frequently. But we can take the guesswork.
Well, I mean, maybe they are, because somebody told them to follow up every day. I've heard that in team calls. We've heard follow up every other day. We've heard follow up every other day, and then every week, and then every month, and years from then on, have your name in notebooks ready for you to be talking to people. And, when you see that you're following up with people because you're following what your upline says, and, you go to that person's name and you see that you're the only one talking, like they're just ghosting you. Like, you would feel, I personally would feel like I am harassing people, like I am definitely bothering people. Like, they clearly don't want this, because if they did, they would have talked to me the first time I sent a message, or the second time I sent a message. Maybe I'll give them 2. But I know for me, not hearing yeses would mentally mess with me. And this is just a constant, whatever. People are going to say, no, get over it. And it's like, yes, that is true. But it can mentally mess with people. It can mentally hurt people, and they just want them to put their head down and just constantly message, unless someone blatantly says, no, leave me alone, blocks you. There's only so much you can do with that. But like, if you're not getting a response, just leave that person alone. You don't need to keep asking them how their day is doing. By the way, do you want to buy my product? Do you want this opportunity? No, they don't.
Out of that, and we can narrow it down to a really simple system, a simple formula that you can follow every time and not be irritating people, but also it's easy for you to remember and easy for you to keep doing. So the frequency that works for most consultants, there's 2 that most people go by. One is 222, the other is 113. Okay. And those refer to 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 1 day, 1 week, 3 months. Doesn't really matter.
I don't know, just to have to keep up with that, it would just be exhausting for me. And, because they want you to follow up with a bunch of people, sometimes reach out to 5 people a day, 10 people a day. And to know that you need to follow up with 10 new people the next day, plus follow up with the 10 people from the day before, and so on and so forth. And then when you get to that end of the week, you're following up with 100, 200 people, and then don't even get me started on the end of the month. It's just 1,000 people at that point that you're just hoping to communicate with and having to remember conversations because they want you to create, an authentic relationship with that person, which, I'm not a huge fan of. I know that's where a lot of MLMers are going, is for the authentic, friendship route, but I just think that is super not okay, very manipulative, because that person may think that you are genuinely a friend when your whole goal of speaking to them is because you want them to buy something from you or you want them to join underneath you. That's not a true friendship. And they're talking to, potentially 50 other people saying around the same thing, and you think that you're the special one, that this person genuinely cares about you. But then when you look at stuff like this and opportunity calls and team calls, you see, you're just a part of a copy and paste message, essentially, and it can affect somebody. And I just feel that this making real connections with people is definitely more harmful than good.
It just pick one and try it. The first follow-up, whether that's 1 day or 2 days after they get their order, you thank them.
Oh, you're talking about people who have just ordered from you. What if, you've never made a sale? How are you supposed to follow up with people if you've never made a sale? So, you're posting on social media hoping to get a sale and saying, I'm not getting any sales. It's well, have you done your follow-ups? It's no, because I don't have any sales. So how does that work?
For me personally, this is actually their thank you card. Okay, so when I deliver their order, their thank you is in the bag, and I've texted them to arrange delivery or pickup. Or if they have ordered online, I mail them a thank you in the mail, handwritten thank you note with a sample. So that is my first follow-up. Really interesting. I wish I still had the statistics. When I first did this topic in 2015, Scentsy provided a statistic to me that said most people who buy Scentsy at all only bought one time. But the people who bought again usually did so within a week. So why wouldn't we be checking in within that first week after they've gotten their product, after they've set it up and falling in love with it, they're excited about it? That's the prime time to check in with them. Okay. So 1 or 2 days after they get their order or as you deliver it, kind of thing. The second check-in is just that. It's a check-in. You can ask a question. This is not, are you ready to order? This is not, here's my link, see if there's anything you want. And we are going to talk about exactly how to craft a message. But this is a check-in, a touching base. You can ask them, confirm that they're still loving everything. Ask them which scent they liked the best, assuming that you explain to them that they should have a variety of scents on hand. You could offer a sample. The fun thing is that we have something new all the time. We have scent of the month. We have limited time offer collections. We have things coming out literally all the time. So there is always something that you can share. I just got next month's scent of the month and I have a sample for you. Can I pop it in the mail? Okay. That way you are checking in with them. That is following up. You're not asking them for anything. You're showing a personal interest and you are offering something of value to them. Okay.
This is not the worst advice. I actually think that's pretty good. But again, samples are something that the Scentsy consultants themselves have to buy. They have to buy the bars and then break them up, put them into little baggies and mail them off with a stamp. And, that stuff adds up. And samples I think are a good thing, especially when it comes to scented stuff. Everybody likes different kinds of scents. So it's not the worst. But again, this kind of advice only maybe works if the individual has, a lot of sales. And if they don't have a lot of sales and they're just trying to get people to buy from them, this follow-up thing of follow up with the people who bought from you doesn't help them.
Serving them. Remember the server at the restaurant?
You mean customer service? Got it.
They'll say, how are you doing on your appetizers? Would you like another beer? Whatever the case may be, right? But they're offering something of value. So we can do the exact same thing on the second follow-up. And this is about 2 weeks after the customer gets their order. Okay, the third follow-up, we're at either 2 or 3 months later now. And if they haven't repurchased yet, now is when you're going to ask for the sale. And it's not going to be pushy. It's not going to be spammy or salesy, because you are not going to send them 3 paragraphs of every single item that's on sale. You're going to be really friendly. You're going to be brief and clear and ask them a question. Okay. There are lots of different ways to track these systems, the 222 or the 113. Personally, I use the Sell with Amy app that integrates with your workstation.
So you use an app instead of the names in a notebook, but either way, it's just the constant needing to the spread. It's basically all just a spreadsheet, and yes, maybe the app does make it a little bit easier. Like, hey, today you need to contact Beverly, and tomorrow you're going to contact Jennifer. But either way, it's just the constant copy and paste of a message. You're like, hey, do you want to buy from me? Hey, do you want to join the opportunity? Hey, let's reconnect. Let's have a real personal connection. And then I'm going to drop the bomb on you that, hey, I actually just want you for your money.
A free trial in the account tab of your workstation. I pay for it. Like, they didn't bribe me to talk about it. I have used it since it came out for consultants, and absolutely.
So it's an app created for consultants, and of course you have to pay for it. It's not something that MLMs could give you as a bonus of being a part of the MLM. It's like implemented into like the website fee or whatever. No, it's more money that consultants have to spend monthly.
I love it because it really takes the guesswork out of the whole thing. I can set the reminders based on my own preferences for timing and how many people I want to check in with per day. You can really, really customize it. You can change your message templates to sound exactly like you. And it's just...
Message template. So copy and paste message. Got it.
Amazing. And for what I pay for it, I believe I've done the math. And as long as I sell at least 1 6-pack of wax from a follow-up message, then it's paid for itself. And I sell a lot more than that through follow-up every month. You can do binders, you can do spreadsheets, you can do charts. I've seen like recipe card boxes. The perfect system for follow-up is the one you'll do, and the one that you'll do consistently. So again, our objective today is to implement a simple system. Don't get stuck in researching or analysis paralysis, because then you're just spinning your wheels in the mud. You're still not getting orders, and your customers might have found someone else by then because they just haven't heard from you. Okay, so the key is...
Obviously, it all depends. But like, if you were to buy Scentsy from a specific consultant, then you more than likely are going to stay with that consultant, because maybe it's a friend or a friend of a friend or a family member or the random hun that reached out to you on Instagram. They're not going to be like, well, that person didn't talk to me, so I'm going to go over there and buy from that person. Maybe they will, can't say never, but I am more on the side of, if they want more product, they'll just go back to the place and the consultant's like special unique code username in the in the bar, and they'll say in the website. What am I trying to say? Their unique Scentsy website code is what I'm trying to get at, and they'll more than likely just go back and buy from that person, or they'll call them up if they, went to a party or something like that. But to say that, if you don't follow up because you don't feel comfortable doing that, because, it's your business, you should feel comfortable. And I don't think I need to do this every time, but you guys get it. It's their MLM, independent consultant business. And if they don't want to follow up because they don't want to feel spammy, they don't want to feel pushy, that's up to them to say that, well, that person's probably going to go buy, somewhere else. They're going to go to a different consultant. Always blaming the downlines, always.
just try something, just do something. And if it doesn't work, then you can try a different way. Imperfect action will get you 100% more results than researching will and planning.
There is nothing wrong with researching. If it is truly your own business, research is one of the best things you can do. If you wanted to start your own knitting business, you're not just gonna like put up some like bundled up crap together and put it online and be like, why is nobody buying from me? This is just the start. It's imperfect. Why aren't they buying my imperfect product? Like, they would want to research, they'd want to, get better at the craft, take their time on it and decide where they want to go with it, how they want to go with it. It's just in any other business setting besides an MLM, research and learning and yes, trial and error is a part of it, but there's a reason why when you start a job, they train you. They don't just say go forward and, whatever happens, happens and you'll learn along the way. You get training. At proper jobs, you get training. They don't just throw you full force into it. At least, hopefully if it's a good job, they don't do that. But you get training and you get paid for that training. So, in MLMs, you don't get paid for the training. They want you to just go. Hopefully you'll get sales because then that gets them sales. Hopefully you'll get downlines because then that, ranks them up. But it has nothing to do with them. It has all to do with you.
Just do it. Just do something. Okay. So let's talk about how to craft, I won't say the perfect follow-up message, but I will say it works pretty well for me and my friends. So basically you want to think 3 sentences. People are tired. People are stressed. They don't like to read. That's why apps like Instagram or TikTok are what people gravitate to, because they want to be entertained. They don't want to read. They want to see pictures. They want to see videos. I'm not saying follow up with a video, but my point is their attention span is short. So we're going to keep this short. And here's exactly what you're going to say. You're going to use their name. You will not, please, hand over your heart and promise me you will not copy and paste, hey hun, or hey girl. I understand.
I love that. They are fully aware of the stigma of the hey hon, the hey girl, hey babe. Oh, love that.
Stand if that is the way that you speak normally with your friends, that's fine. Talk to your friends that way. But phrases like that are clearly copied and pasted give our entire industry a bad name. No hey girl.
I promise that you using hey hun or hey girl is not what gives the industry a bad name. It's not that.
No hey hun. Okay. You know their name, so use it. This isn't in my notes. This is a bit of a tangent, but before I was a Scentsy consultant, I worked in a bank for almost 10 years. And when I was a customer service representative at the bank, in our training, we were told that we had...
Do you think she got paid for that training? She probably did. They probably didn't just throw her full force at the bank and say, work!
To use the customer's name, because they would, put in their debit card and put in their PIN number, and then we would have all their information in front of us. And so we had to use their name. Hi, Mrs. Gibson. How are you today? Anything else I can do for you today? Thank you for your business, Mrs. Gibson. And I tell you, for the first few months, it felt incredibly awkward. But after a few more months and years of just making that my habit, using their name, literally saying thank you for your business, I understood it became a habit. And so I didn't care.
AKA customer service. That's all this is.
How goofy I may or may not have sounded, but I also realized that's what makes people feel seen and valuable. People love to hear their name.
That is something I don't know if I've shared this. I don't like you guys using my name in comments and stuff, like that's totally fine because you're referring to me, but like, when you work at a job and you have a name tag and someone will use your name, my first instinct is like, how do you know me? Who are you? Do I know you? Like it throws me off, I guess. And obviously, like, when you have a name tag, it makes sense. But, I guess I understand her point is that when you use somebody's name, it does make it seem like a more personal connection, like that they actually know you. But for me personally, I don't know, it throws me off.
So use their name. Another tip. I don't know if maybe I'm just hypersensitive about this. Don't shorten people's name if they don't have that as their Facebook name, or if they haven't introduced themselves to you as a short form of their name. I get messages all the time. Hey, Hey, Kathy. I'm like, no. My name is Catherine. If my name was Kathy, I would.
I can understand that. I've had customers call me Jessie before, and I'm like, um, no, you don't get to just call me Jessie. I don't know you. The only person in my life who has, I think, ever called me Jessie is my dad, and he rarely even does that now. Like, that was my nickname when I was younger. And I think I had one friend in school call me Jessie, but it's like, no, you don't get to just call me Jessie unless I were to introduce myself as Jessie, or I were to give you the okay to call me Jessie. Like, that's too far.
I would say, hi, I'm Kathy. I am not. So, like, show some respect for people by using their name, and using their name as they've introduced themselves to you. Okay. The rest of the message, you can absolutely copy and paste.
Okay. So, you know what gives MLMs a bad name? It's the copy and paste of the hey hun, hey girl message, but the rest of the copy and pasted message, totally fine. That won't give MLMs a bad name. It's just the hey hun and hey girl copy and paste message. Like, they have to be aware that our thing is the copy and paste message. It's unauthentic. You're just using it as a way to get money out of people. Like, that's so funny. Like, yeah, go ahead and use the whole rest of the message can be copy and paste. Just make sure you use your name because it's more authentic that way. Oh, that was good.
In fact, I'm gonna say I recommend it just to churn things out, but it does keep things simple. And the thing is, your message is to start a conversation. It's not your entire sales pitch and everything that we sell all at once. It's literally a conversation starter. So right now we are at the end of January. We've had 2 snowstorms in the last week. It is transition month. It is sale month. It's bring back my bar. We have Dazzle the Unicorn. We have NFL.
I remember when I had the Beachbody Hun years ago reach out to me, and she would like follow up with messages. Like, I think she was someone that would follow up each day, and then each week, and then each month, and then like I think it was like I didn't hear from her until like a year later. So clearly she likes the 113 whatever 111 approach. But I do remember she would like mention like, hey, just wanted to make sure you're okay this time. How are your dogs? By the way, and then she'd say like, my company is, doing this, or we're starting a challenge group, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Like, I have a few spots, and I thought of you. I mean, she really hit every point of an MLM that she could.
We have so many things, and I could easily list them all and copy and paste that to everyone I know. I could make a very busy graphic and shoot that off to everyone I know. But instead, this is what my follow-ups have sounded like for the last 2 weeks. And count the sentences as we go. Okay. Hi, Catherine. I hope you're staying safe and warm this week. I'm checking in to let you know that January is our semi-annual sale at Scentsy, and bring back my bar. Are you ready for some refills? ? That's it. That's all I say. And it starts a conversation. I get a lot of people saying, no, thanks, I'm still good. That's great. Really nice to hear from you. Take care. I get ignored. That's okay too. We'll talk about that in a minute. But other people say, yes, I need refills. What's the sale? What else is going on? And we have a conversation. So again, use their real name, the way they like their name to be used. Some kind of personal connection sentence, like what you're messaging them about. In this case, it's our sale, it's Bring Back My Bar. And I only bring that up if I know that they are aware of Bring Back My Bar, because I don't need to spew that on everybody all at once. Are you ready for refills? Question mark. That simple.
And again, these follow-up messages only work for people that have bought from you. So if for her, like if she had like 100 people who she can follow up with because they bought from her, but if somebody only has one person, even if that person were to buy each week, that's not going to make them a millionaire tomorrow.
People are, it's like science or something. People are more compelled to
Did you say it's like science or something? Okay.
respond when your message ends in a question mark. Okay. I heard from another leader years ago, if you say, let me know, you're not even throwing the ball in their court. You're just throwing the ball away. Because when they read, let me know, and then they put their phone down and they completely forget and they get 50 billion other messages and yours is at the bottom of their inbox, they're not going to let you know. They're not going to remember. Ask a question. It elicits a response. And that 3-sentence formula works all the time. It works for the first follow-up, the second one. Lately, I've been switching up a little bit. And my second follow-up, so 2 weeks, is, hey, so-and-so, hey, Susie, I hope you're still enjoying your new Scentsy warmer and bars. Would you leave me a review? Simple as that. I've been getting reviews online. It's fantastic.
Would that be like a review for the product itself, or like can you leave reviews for the consultant? Because yeah, I mean, it is good to leave reviews of products, it helps other people, but to say leave me a review, it is confusing because it comes off like it's your business, and it's not. There are lots and lots of other Scentsy consultants selling those same bars and those same wax warmers. It's not unique to you.
So it's really, really simple. Remember, 3 sentences, use their first name, a clear message, and a clear call to action or a question.
Okay? Call to action. We got some Beachbody lingo in here. I mean, I know that's just MLM lingo, but I think Beachbody is like the first time I heard call to action be used in an MLM.
Because the goal is to start conversations, not to vomit a commercial on them. The last section I have here, excuse me, is objections. And these are consultant objections. These are the stories in our head that we tell ourselves, or we heard one time, or we get all in our feelings when we see that they've read the message, but they haven't responded.
See, and why is that so wrong? That can honestly mentally screw with someone. Like in the time we're at now where talking online is kind of the best way to communicate, to see somebody left you on red, that'd be like if you told someone something and then like face to face and then they just turned around and walked away. You'd feel kind of bad about that, and you would start to second guess yourself and get in your head. At least for me, I guess I put my own feelings into a lot of this because I know that I would mentally get into my head about this kind of stuff if I were to join MLM and I was reaching out to people and people were either telling me no, or they were telling me, or they were just ignoring me. It would mess with me. I'd be like, well, what am I doing wrong? And then when they're telling you, yeah, it is you, when it's not you. It's the industry. It's people don't want to always be having hordes and hordes of MLM products. They don't want to join an MLM. But of course, when you're in the MLM, they don't tell you that. You have to realize that yourself. And it's just also, I just know I'd be terrible at sales for that reason. It's like get in my own head so much, like all the time about basically everything. So that's why I know I would not be good at sales, because I would trip over my words, and then if someone like didn't get back to me, I'd be like, I would sit there and I would be like, oh my god, what did I say wrong? What did I do? What did I do? What could I have said better? Do they hate me now? Yeah. So that's me about a lot of stuff. I have to remind myself, like, it's okay. It's all right. People don't have to, say things this perfect way, or if someone like responds like a different way than what I like portrayed in my head how they'd respond. It's I feel like that's, hopefully you guys can relate to that. It just, it's the wonderful anxiety spiral, of like, oh my god, I did something wrong. What do I do? How do I fix this? What do I say? When I probably did nothing in the reality of it. But yeah, it would mess with me to be in an MLM, mentally and emotionally, for sure.
So we're going to go over these really quick, because I relate to you guys 110% on these. First one, I don't have time. That's a load of garbage, because we just talked about time.
Are you kidding me? For somebody to say they don't have time, you don't know what they do in their day. To say you do have time, that's garbage.
All have the same 24 hours.
I hate this when they're like, we all have the same 24 hours. No, we don't. We know how we spend our day. I know I have a different 24 hours than someone that is a mom of 4 kids, or a CEO of a business, or the person across the street from me. We all live a different 24 hours, and how we spend that is all on us. We know, but the only thing we have control over is our own lives and how we spend our time. Time is so precious. So how we spend it is all on us. To say, well, we all have the same 24 hours. In the scheme of time, yes, we all have 24 hours in a day, but we all don't have the same 24 hours.
And we 100% make time for what's important. Okay. What is more important to you? Growing your business so that you can support building the life that you want for yourself and your family, or like being comfy and binging Netflix?
The Netflix hate, it happens. It happens in almost every MLM video I've been watching lately, is their hate on Netflix. I feel like I need to make like a bingo card and like have like hates on Netflix. I feel like I would check that off every single time, or that'd be like the free space card, because more than likely they're gonna bring it up. If somebody wants to watch Netflix, that is okay. It's their life. They can do what they want. Them watching Netflix benefits them. It doesn't benefit you though, and that's all that matters.
Or scrolling TikTok, or playing, what is the thing everyone's playing now? Is it Wordle? Anyway, what's more important?
You're right. You should devote every single second of your 24 hours to being busy, either doing work. Never have fun. And I know they'll be like, that's not what we mean. That's kind of what it comes off like in the beginning, is that you need to give up doing anything fun so that you can eventually, maybe, hopefully, do something fun, like 3 years down the line. If they want to watch Netflix, they are allowed 100% to watch Netflix, scroll TikTok, play Wordle, whatever they want to do.
We make the time for what's important. Second objection, and we already touched on this a little bit, I don't want to be spammy. That's good, because I don't want you to be spammy either. Nobody likes that. Don't be spammy. It's that simple. You can follow up and build relationships with people.
Right, and then you come off like a friend, and then you drop the bomb on them that you really just want them for their money. Because that sounds so much better than being upfront with your intention, being slightly spammy about it. But either way, people view spamminess totally different. Just talking about your MLM to them can come off as spammy.
Without being spammy. In fact, spam equals the opposite. That's how you get blocked. So if it helps you in your brain, you can rename follow-up. I don't think follow-up is a spammy term, but you can rephrase it in your head to relationship building or customer service or whatever helps you kind of wrap.
I mean, I guess that's what I called it at the very beginning, was customer service. The way that she was wording it, like if you are following up with someone who has bought from you, then yes, that is customer service. But if you are following up with people because you hope that they buy from you or you hope that they join the opportunity, that's just annoying.
Your mind around it and take action. Remember, that's the key. We're implementing. We're not figuring out. And when we follow up consistently with our customers, even if they're not ready for 5-10 times that we follow up with them, we're building trust with them. Consistency builds trust. They know what to expect. If our customers never hear from us, how are they going to trust us? If they never hear from us, they might wonder if we even still sell Scentsy. And they might.
I'm sure they could just go to your page and see you post about Scentsy all day long. Like, it's not like if somebody's in an MLM, you absolutely know that they're in an MLM. Like, they make it very obvious that they're in the MLM.
Order from someone else that they see promoting their business more consistently. Okay. I always get ignored. Me too. I get ignored all the time, but not by every person and not every time. Okay. Sometimes I will reach out 5 or more times to the same person over several months, even more than a year. And then finally one day out of the blue, get a response like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for the reminder. Thank you for not getting up on me. Yeah, I really need wax, or my bulb's all burnt out.
But how many people can message, once a month or once every other month for a year just to get one sale? That a lot of these people are hoping to change their lives kind of sort of quickly because it's what the opportunity call kind of promised them. And they're like, look at what could be if you just stay consistent, if you just post on social media, you can be where we are too. But then they're like, you need to follow up, with some people for a year, and then you'll maybe get that, $10 sale. That's not going to change your life. That's going to bother that one person and make you maybe, not feel so great about yourself for a $10 sale. And your life is exactly where it was a year ago, maybe even worse. So if it takes a year to get one sale, this isn't the kind of business you should be in.
Keep following up. Okay, 80% of sales are made between the 5th to 12th follow-up.
I don't know where she got that statistic, but if that's the case, then to have to follow up with someone 8 to 12 times about an MLM product, it's just not worth it.
80% of sales are made between the 5th to 12th follow-up. So that means that if you stop following up before at least 5 times or a dozen times, you're leaving money on the table. You are leaving potential sales on the table. And if you stop following up, your customers are still going to spend their money. They're going to spend it at the mall or with a consultant who is reaching out consistently. So I would love if you right now wrote down one thing that you learned today in this video, write it down, highlight it, write it on your arm. I don't know, but do it. Do it tomorrow, and then do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And just keep going. A couple messages a day, 5 messages, 10 messages a day will build your results. And the more you do it, the more you will build confidence. Action is the best antidote to fear or lack of confidence, because you act your way into confidence and into belief. So I hope this was helpful. That's all. Check out the Sell with Amy app. It is the best. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out.
Bye. Bye, Scentsy lady. She didn't say bye. So rude. I love when they say bye because then like I'm saying bye back to them. But bye, Scentsy lady. So what did I learn? Well, I learned that she thinks that just saying hey girl or hey hun, that's the copy and paste message that gives MLMs a bad name, not their structure of their business where people pour in a bunch of money at the bottom in hopes to hopefully make some money and be a part of the top, wondrous fantasy land that they make it all out to be, somewhere way up here. It's just a hey hun, hey girl copy message. That's what we don't like. I just love how it's like, don't say hey girl, hey hun. But you can copy and paste the whole rest of the message. Yeah, because that's super authentic. Just because you use somebody's name doesn't mean that the message itself is authentic. It's just, too much. And then saying that's garbage, we all have the same 24 hours. You don't own anybody's time. They think that they do. It only benefits them if the downline is working on their off hours and not watching Netflix. That only benefits the upline. It doesn't benefit the downline. The downline now has no free time. They're not allowed to do what they want with their 24 hours. They now have like a second job. It's like, before I joined Scentsy, I used to, watch Netflix with my family and it was a great time. Now I just spend it, messaging as many people as I can on Facebook and Instagram, getting ignored and constantly being on my phone because that is a healthy thing. That was a lot. Alright, you guys, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things Scentsy in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!